From one neighbor to another, WCTE PBS is here for you. Coming up next is Live at 5 on WCTE and our streaming platforms to give you updates on communities throughout the Upper Cumberland.
Bobby.
Hi there. Welcome to Live at 5 WCTE, and thank you for tuning in on Facebook. I'm Becky Magura, President and CEO of WCTE, and I'm happy to have with me Tennessee Tech President Phil Oldham. Thank you so much for joining me as my co-host tonight.
It's my pleasure, Becky. It's good to be with you.
It's great being with you, and we've got a lot going on tonight that we're going to share, important information that folks can take over the weekend. But first, let's hear what's happening at Tennessee Tech.
Well, if you drove through campus right now, you'd think not much was going on, actually, Becky. It looks pretty quiet, but that's just on the surface. Under the surface, there's a tremendous amount of activity. Faculty have been really heavily engaged with getting courses online for the end of this semester. Students have been finishing up their work online, and so a lot of effort has gone into that, and a lot of compliments go to the faculty and support staff to make that happen. They had to pivot very quickly, as most of us did with the COVID-19 situation, and they've done it with a considerable amount of grace and style and a lot of patience, and give them a lot of praise for that. So that's going really well. And the feedback we've gotten from students is very positive. They appreciate the efforts that the faculty have made. And so we're getting everybody finished up and moving toward progressing with their degrees. And some of them will be graduating this semester.
Oh,
so
that's terrific. And so that won't slow that up.
No.
I do want to ask you about graduation. What are you going to do about Tennessee Tech's graduation?
So we have officially postponed commencement ceremonies. Of course, those that earn degrees will get those degrees regardless of if we have a ceremony or not. But we've officially postponed the ceremony. We hope to announce a date later in the summer to reschedule commencement so that those students can come back and walk and have their families present. But we want to make sure that's in a safe environment at the time, so we'll continue to work on that. We're getting a lot of input from some of those graduating seniors about what they would like to see in that makeup commencement ceremony. But we're also doing an online video for students on May 9th that they can access, and we've asked them to submit photos and comments and things like that. So hopefully they'll have a nice keepsake for that time and really mark this special occasion.
Okay, well, I hope we'll be able to share that with you too. And we'll share that Facebook post, and if it does get out socially.
Absolutely.
That'd be fun. We'll be back with President Oldham in just a few moments. I think you know that this week we've had quite a few mayor updates. Lots has happened. It's been happening this week. Also, I want to share with you an important information about that was supplied to us from the Biz Foundry, a local initiative support corporation list. Small business loans are due if you are a small business. And you can submit for a grant on Tuesday. You have to do this by Tuesday, April 28th. You, a business owner, it must be 18 years of age with a business tax ID. And there's priority to minority, women, and veteran-owned businesses. Nonprofits are not applicable for this particular pool of money, but look that up. It's on the Biz Foundry website right here in Cookeville. We'll be back in just a few moments.
It's another beautiful springtime day across the community and the sun is shining, but the crisis is not over yet. It's sometimes easy to forget that over 750,000 COVID-19 cases nationwide have been detected, with over 41,000 deaths. Numbers are still coming in and tests are being conducted across the state. Preliminary results show that the number of those infected may have been undercounted. Health experts warn that until more reliable tests are in place, antibody markers are identified, and a vaccine is available, we are still not out of danger. Warren County does have 5 confirmed cases. Testing continues at the health department with the help of the Tennessee Guardsmen.
We are there Monday through Friday, testing 9 to 3 every day. When we first deployed out here, we were testing about 10 people a day. In the last week week and a half, we've had those numbers increasing. We're between 40 to 50 people a day, and we want those numbers to keep increasing. It's very important to have the tests come in to make sure you're not passing on to anyone else. Just because you're not showing signs or symptoms doesn't mean you don't have it. We already had one come back this past week that had no signs, no symptoms, and they tested positive.
And we want to continue to work to keep our numbers down. There are some positive signs also on the state level. The total number of positives for Tennessee today is 7,394, which is 156 more than yesterday. By my stats, that is the smallest increase we've seen statewide in several days. Also, another positive sign is the number of people statewide that have recovered from the virus, which today is at 52%.
The governor announced yesterday that his stay-at-home directive will not be extended and will end April 30th. Over the next few days, he said he will announce about the reopening of businesses by May 1st and some by April 27th. The fact is, we all still have freedom. Freedom to follow directives or freedom not to, and consequences of our actions. We've said all along to please listen, follow the directives, take personal responsibility, heed the guidance from experts, and use common sense so that you can protect yourself, your family, and everyone else. There are no easy, clear-cut answers to this situation.
As of today, 108,182 tests have been conducted. And for 17 consecutive days, we have seen only single-digit increases in the number of cases in our state. Our hospitalization rate has consistently remained lower than national averages, and our number of recovered patients now exceeds the number of active cases. Yesterday, Governor Lee announced that the Safer at Home order will expire April 30th, and the phased reopening of Tennessee will begin next week. The vast majority of businesses in 89 of Tennessee's 95 counties will reopen on May 1st, with some slated to open on Monday, April 27th. Governor Lee appointed an economic recovery group composed of 30 leaders from the public and private sector to craft guidelines to assist businesses in a safe reopening. The industry representatives participating in the group represent over 140,000 Tennessee businesses that employ over 2.5 million Tennesseans. You are encouraged to give your input on how the state can reopen through the Tennessee.gov website, that is tn.gov website.
Today, as of 2 p.m., our total number of confirmed positives in Putnam County is 101, which is one more than yesterday. We also have had 5 deaths, one which is not showing up on the state numbers yet. All 5 deaths were from Signature Healthcare. Please keep those families in your thoughts and prayers. Putnam County has also completed much more testing than most of the other counties our size based on population. Just since Monday, we have tested 527 people at our Putnam County Health Department alone.
Currently, we have 7 inpatients that are positive with COVID-19. There has been a total of 16 patients admitted to the medical center with positive COVID-19. 9 of those patients have been discharged. We know that the ban for elective surgery and elective procedures will end at April 30th of this year. So we will start gradually reopening the medical center to start doing elective procedures and elective surgeries. So we are working on a communication plan to be able to communicate with each and every one of the patients that come into the facility for surgery.
All right, we are coming to you live from the Emergency Operations Center here in Putnam County. I'm Becky Magura, and thank you for tuning in for WCT's Live at 5. And I'm happy to have with me Tennessee Tech President Phil Oldham. President Oldham, I saw in the news that you got a wonderful relief from the CARES Act at Tennessee Tech. You want to share a little bit about that?
Sure. The CARES Act, Congress passed just a few weeks ago, is intended to provide some stimulus funds, some funding to help students and campuses to deal with the current COVID-19 situation. So yes, we've been notified that we will be receiving $8.7 million, half of which, almost $4.4 million, will go directly to students.
That's awesome.
So we're in the process now of looking at the guidance from the United States Department of Education on how best to distribute those dollars. It's intended to go to students in certain categories with demonstrated need based on the COVID situation. So we're in the process of determining how best to distribute those dollars, and we hope to be pushing those out to students in just the next few days.
And they can use that as their discretion?
Yeah, absolutely. It's perfectly discretionary on their part to use it as they best see fit. I mean, some students have been obviously dislocated in terms of housing. In some cases, they have issues with food. They've lost part-time jobs in a lot of cases. So we know that a lot of these students need some additional funding, and we're happy to be able to process that and try to get it out as quickly as we can.
Well, how are students doing? I think that's another question I would like to have. How are you hearing from them?
Yes, we are. I mean, a lot of this is anecdotal at this point because it's a little hard to get collective information from large groups of students because they are dispersed. But anecdotally, we're hearing very positive things from students. There are some that have certain challenges. Wherever they're located currently, they may not have as easy access to internet connectivity and Wi-Fi, those kinds of things, and so there are some unique challenges. But for the most part, they've done really well. They've remained very engaged. The feedback we've gotten from faculty has been very positive about the continued level of engagement. I think we're finding that at least most of our students, and I think most of them nationally, would prefer to have a traditional on-campus experience.
Right.
This is not their preference. But they are learning that they can do this, and it is possible. And like I said before, faculty are working with them really, really well to help them get through this. So a lot of patience. There's a lot of patience on campus right now, which is good.
Operating from a place of grace that's okay.
It is, yeah. We've added. We've always talked about our students wanting to be bold, fearless, and confident, but we've added to that to be kind.
Yeah.
As well. So yeah.
I love that. And how are you and the First Lady doing? How are you handling?
We're doing fine. I'm very fortunate. I'm very blessed. I have a wonderful wife, Carrie, and we're pretty normal. We're like about any other family, and so we're going through the same challenges, same struggles that I think most everybody else has. I think most of us are tired of being at home quite as much. We're ready to get back out and do things like we're used to doing, but we're doing well. Thank you.
Good. May is the month that we really celebrate nurses. And it used to be just a week, but this year, because nurses are on the front lines in this COVID pandemic, then they're celebrating nationally the whole month of May to recognize nurses. And Tennessee Tech has a School of Nursing. Do you want to share a little bit about that school?
Yeah, absolutely. The Whitson Hester School of Nursing is really a phenomenal school. Great faculty, fantastic students. We really produce a lot of high quality nurses every year. And what many people don't know yet, probably because it's relatively new, this will be the first graduating class for our new doctorate in nursing practice. Wow. So we have a DNP that we launched just a few short years ago in cooperation with East Tennessee State University. And so these are our first DNP graduates that are finished. So we offer everything from a bachelor's in nursing, master's, as well as a doctorate now. And as we all know, we need nurses.
Oh, right.
We need nurses, and we need good nurses. And Whitson Hester School of Nursing does a great job of producing them.
That's terrific, and something really to be proud of. So I'm so excited to hear that. We are going to have two guests coming up here in just a few moments. First, Corby King, who is the director of Putnam County Schools, and we're going to learn what's happening there in Putnam County with all of the school activity that's happening. Believe it or not, it's still happening. And also, we're happy to have with us Phil Shaler. Phil is the director of the Putnam County Library System, and there's lots you can still do. Do you have a favorite book?
Well, we'll take the Bible off the top. But I have several, whatever I'm reading at the time usually. But I like Malcolm Gladwell really well. It's Outliers and David and Goliath, some of those. I enjoy those.
Awesome, awesome. All right, well, stand by. We're going to be back here in just a few moments with Corby King, and then you'll come back and join us in just a little bit, all right?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you.
I was dancing with my baby to that Tennessee waltz when an old friend I happened to see.
You're live.
All right. Hi, guys. Thanks for coming back. It is live TV. Hey, and just so you know, we are practicing very CDC habits. Corby, I wiped your mic down.
Yes, thank you. And the podium, I noticed that
that's
before
right.
I came up here. Thank you.
Hey, share with us what's happening with Putnam County Schools. I know you're very, very busy.
Yes, sure. There's still a lot going on. Even though the buildings are closed, we are still having school. We are still having instruction. The teachers and students are involved in the remote learning plan. So students are getting lessons every day. The teachers are giving feedback on the lessons. We're just trying to keep students prepared for next fall.
Oh, okay. And WCTE is working with you closely and the Department of
absolutely.
Education across the state with
Yes.
that at-home learning block.
At home learning with PBS, and you guys are airing that every day for us. And it's teachers. We have four from our system that are providing lessons on a daily basis, different grade levels, different lessons, and our teachers are knocking it out of the park.
They really are.
It's really fun.
Doing a
So-
great job. Cindy Putnam and Jody Pitts are working with our team, and they are putting together some great things on the WCT website. It's called the Connection Zone and At-Home Learning Block, so
Yes.
check that out. Corby, tell me about those important senior activities at the end of the year. What are y'all doing with that?
So right now, the senior activities, they are postponed. We haven't canceled anything yet. We're still in the planning stages. We're really waiting to see what's going to happen within our community. We're going to lean heavily on the health professionals in the
Right.
community, the health department, the doctors from the hospital, just to see when it's safe to reschedule those activities. But we're not canceling anything, prom, graduation, that type stuff. We want to have as traditional a ceremony as we can,
Right.
and still be safe and safe within the community.
That's exciting. I know
Yes.
people will be happy to hear that.
It is. We did a survey of the senior class members and the senior class parents, and overwhelmingly, that's what they wanted was to reschedule and have a traditional ceremony. So we're trying to do that.
And WCT is going to be working with our area schools and
Thank
with
you.
Tennessee Tech
Yes.
to try to make sure that those graduation opportunities are shared out via television, because we know a lot of folks they may not have easy access to online.
That's right. And it may not be safe for everyone to come out still. And so this is a way for families, for grandparents, aunt and uncles to still view the ceremonies, to do that through WCT. So we really appreciate that partnership and all the support we get from WCTE. It's really great for the school system.
Thank you. And we'll be working with all of our Upper Cumberland high schools to help facilitate that. Corby, we had a question via Facebook. How can parents ensure their students are not falling behind in their schoolwork?
I would encourage parents to reach out to their child's teacher, really, to send an email. The teachers are checking email. They're responding daily. We are starting to put grades in Facebook. It's not, the state board has come out and said, you can't have a grade lower than the third quarter grade,
Right.
but you can improve grades. So we've got students that are still checking that. Teachers are putting that in. You can see if it's a 0 there, that means your child didn't do it.
Yes.
It might not count against their grade in the end if they had a good grade,
Right.
but you can see. But if you really want to know, what I would encourage parents to do is just reach out to the teacher, send them an email, and they'll respond.
And you're still feeding a lot of families, right?
We have as of today, 226,000 meals that we have provided to families in Putnam County. We're feeding around 11,000 meals per day, and that's breakfast and lunch, and we're feeding 2 days. It's outstanding, the work our school nutrition department's doing.
That is so impressive and
Yes.
so important. Thank you
Yes.
for doing that. And I know, I hear from parents how much that means to them.
Oh, absolutely, and it's good food.
Yes.
And the kids are enjoying it,
Yes.
and it's good. Our people are enjoying getting to see the kids, see the families. But I can't brag enough on the school nutrition and the transportation people who are going into the neighborhoods and providing those meals.
That's great.
It's outstanding.
And Corby, congratulations on being named director of
Thank
schools.
you.
We're so proud of you for that, and know that you're going to do a terrific job.
Thank you, Becky. And the support from the community has been outstanding, so thank you.
Well, we're going to hopefully hear from you again. I'm sure as we keep doing this over the next month or so, you'll have to come back and join us. Anything else you want to share with families before you leave?
I think just stay with us, keep engaging, keep talking to your teachers. We're going to keep working with you, and we're going to hope we can get back to normal soon where we can see the kids. We miss you guys, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.
Great. Thank you, Corby.
Thank
We'll
you.
be back in just a few moments with Phil Shaler, so don't go away.
Once upon a time, the great Fred Rogers of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood said, "When I was a boy, I would see scary things in the news. My mother would say to me, 'Look for the helpers. You will always find people who are helping.' To this day, especially in times of disaster, I remember my mother's words, and I'm always comforted by realizing that there are still so many helpers, so many caring people in this world. So thank you to all those helpers out there who are feeding our children."
All right, we're really happy to have with us Phil Shaler here. He is the Putnam County Library System Director. And Phil, thanks for wiping everything down. We're practicing the CDC recommendations to keep everything clean and wiping down these surfaces. You know, the library is important, and I meant to ask Corby what his favorite book is. What's your favorite book?
So this is going to make me look like a nerd, but my favorite book is The Hobbit. It was the first book that really got me into reading and brought me down the path that ultimately led here to this podium.
Oh, that is awesome. Well, tell us what's happening with the Putnam County Library.
So there's a lot happening with the Putnam County Library. Like everyone else, we have been trying to balance the safety of our staff and patrons, the recommendations given by federal, state, local,
right.
And the services that we can provide that we feel are essential services to our community. So we have both physical services that we're offering and virtual services. Physical services would be Curbside Checkout.
Okay.
And we're also offering public computer access by appointment. So with the Curbside Checkout, patrons can go to their account on our website, which is pclibrary.org. They can go to their account, access our public access catalog, find whatever books that they want, books, DVDs, whatever materials are on there. They can place holds. Then our staff will pull those holds, notify them that they're ready. They can come to our parking lot, give us a call that they're there, and we'll bring them out to them.
Oh, wow.
And so the main branch is doing that from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. And all the other branches, Allgood, Baxter, and Monterey, are doing that from noon till 4 p.m. And that's Monday through Friday, except for Allgood, which isn't open on Fridays. And as far as computer access goes, all of our branches, except for Allgood is a tiny spot, so it's not really safe to do that in close quarters. But Baxter and Monterey and the Cookeville main branch all have computer access to the public, and that is available for the branches. It's from noon till 4, the time that they're open, and for the main branch in Cookeville, that's from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And again, simply just give us a call. One of our staff members will make an appointment for you. We're offering 1 hour to use the computers.
Wow.
And but if somebody needs to do anything like benefits, apply for unemployment or something like that, some of that stuff takes a long time because the systems are bogged down. So we'll extend those times if we need to. And
so what's your number again so they can call?
931-526-2416. And that's the main Cookeville number.
Awesome. And I think that's so important. I just had a call today from the SBA, the Small Business Association, and they were talking about the FEMA and disaster recovery funds, basically for the tornado that come through for economic and even physical disaster relief funds. And they wanted to remind people that you have to register by May 4th. So they could, if they don't have access to a computer, they can get an appointment with you.
Absolutely. They can come by and get an appointment. They can use our computers. If they have a laptop or something but don't have Wi-Fi, they can sit in our parking lot and use our Wi-Fi.
Very good.
So they can do that. And then also I wanted to just point out some of the virtual services we have too. We have lots of databases. If you go to our website again, there's the Tennessee Electronic Library, which is great for doing homework help and research. We have READS, which is the regional ebook audiobook download system to download ebooks and audiobooks. And check with our Facebook page. We're always updating that daily.
Awesome.
With all sorts of resources and tools.
Now, can you get a library card now?
Well, you can't get a library card right now, unfortunately, because you can't get in the building and we can't
Right.
bring that stuff out to you. But there are the read system that I was telling you about. If you don't have a library card, you can access that with your phone number if you have a Tennessee phone number. And the TEL and some of the other databases you can access without a library card.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Phil, for coming out and being with us. And
Thank you. It's been my pleasure.
And we hope to get back in the library soon, but right?
We hope so too. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, we'll be back in just a few moments with President Oldham. So stay tuned, and thank you for tuning in for Live at 5.
Did you know that since 1939, your local library has been here for you? Now, the library is sending you some love in a slightly different way by offering Curbside Checkout, electronic downloads of books and audiobooks for your reading pleasure. Check out pclibrary.org for all the details.
All right. Don't forget to take advantage of getting those books from the library. I think that is a terrific thing.
Oh, it's absolutely terrific.
Yeah.
Reading's a wonderful thing.
It is. It's such an important. I love to read, so I read all the time. I'm reading right now Presidents of War. It's a great old big book by Michael Beschloff.
So did you get into reading online or
I like a
Kindles
book.
or something like that?
I did get it. I downloaded Libby, and I do get things from the library that way. But I just love holding a book. So
yeah, I'm the same
kind of old
way.
school.
Sometimes I start at the back and go forward.
Right. Well, now that's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to have with us Tennessee Tech President Phil Oldham. President Oldham, in the time that we have left, we may have some Facebook questions come up, but the tornado, it doesn't seem possible that that's only been about 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But so many people are still dealing with that. And we have volunteer. I do want to remind you that the volunteer center for the tornado relief is at the Putnam County Fairgrounds. And you had a lot of Tennessee Tech students that really went out early and probably are still volunteering.
Yes, they did. It was remarkable how the campus responded. Fortunately, the campus was spared from the tornado directly, but our students felt it very strongly. Yes. And they wanted to help. They wanted to get out and connect and help in any way they could. And I know we had well over 1,000 students out volunteering those first couple of days, and they were actually pretty upset when they had to start going back to class because it wasn't because they regretted going back to class. Quite honestly, they weren't trying to get out of class. They just wanted to stay out there and help people.
Right.
So it was a wonderful opportunity for them to be a part of this community, and certainly we regret that it happened, but what a wonderful community to be part of.
Absolutely, and there's still opportunity for you to volunteer between now and May 2nd. Volunteers are needed and still encouraged, so you can sign up just by going by, and they're practicing all CDC safe habits. Even during the virus. So let's try to get out there and do as much as possible.
Absolutely.
Heart of the Cumberland also has gone to Zoom for their support meetings, and they are now hosting grief and support meetings for those affected by the tornado and for those who maybe lost their home or had damage. You can learn more about those at heartofthecumberland.org. And I know Tennessee Tech has a great agriculture program.
Absolutely.
And you know what? You can pick fresh strawberries. Did you know that now?
Yeah, I did know they were coming into season now, and that's one of my favorite times of year. So, yeah, I love fresh strawberries.
Jimmy McCulley of Amazing Acres in White County wanted to ensure their customers that they're abiding by CDC standards and are open for business, so you can come by and get these fresh Tennessee-grown strawberries. And we're really excited that the Cumberland River Hospital in Salina has reopened.
That's tremendous.
Terrific.
Great for that community.
Absolutely. And we're going to learn more about that, hopefully, in the upcoming Live at 5s. President Oldham, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Becky. It's my pleasure.
Love Tennessee Tech. And don't forget, guys, wings up.
Wings up.
And we'll see you next time on Live at 5.
Thank you for joining us at Live at 5. Be sure to tune in next time for additional updates on communities throughout the Upper Cumberland. From one neighbor to another, WCTE PBS is here for you.